Hello, and welcome back to my channel, What's Good on TV. My name is Nicole, and I'm down here to give my review of Sister Wives, Season 19, Episode 9, Baptism by Fire. So, I'm actually just going to give like an overview of the highlights because there's a lot of fluff in this the Sister Wives show now. And so I'm just going to get to the meaty parts. Right? So the one of the meaty things that happened was we got to see Mary and Janelle sit down. So Janelle explains that she wants to meet with Mary because it would feel right to her to kind of give Mary a heads up. She doesn't want Mary caught off guard. And so she's going to go to Mary and try to like give her a heads up. And so for me, that shows that, Mary, she's trying to be, I mean, not Mary, but Janelle's trying to be like a real one. Janelle's trying to be about the sisterhood and like, I'm not trying to take anything from you. So you see her go to Mary's house and, she gets in and she notices, she goes, wow, it's kind of empty. It almost feels cavernous in there. So she's like, wow, it's kind of empty. Mary shares that she is actually moving back to her bed and breakfast. And the ladies kind of chat a little bit and it feels a little somber between them, right? Like it feels like when friends realize like something's been lost and they're talking about, how they had a wish things had, went differently and whatnot. But you could tell it's tense between them. Like it's always been a type of tension between Mary and Janelle. Like years ago, they went to counseling together and they had said they were going to try to work on things, but it still felt real something between them. I don't know if it's because at one point they were actually sister-in-laws and then they became sister wives. But anyway, Janelle gets to the point of the conversation and she kind of explains, her stance on the money coming due. She explains to Mary that the note comes due in 75 days. We signed a bad deal. And we don't have all of this man's money, and I mean all of his money. He gets to keep the money and we lose the land. And this is all news to Mary. I don't know how, but somehow Mary, she didn't know about this. And she honestly was coming off like, I don't care. I'm not worried about it. And she lets Janelle know, well, I am not worried about it. Janelle's kind of like, well, Cody says he don't have the money. He keeps saying he don't have the money. And Mary is still kind of like, sometimes we have to stretch. We brought Peter to pay Paul. And I was a little frustrated with Mary in that moment because I'm like, Mary, if the issue is that you have money to lose and you don't care, let that be known. Like, you know what? Keep that money. I got money. I'm dipping in zeros over here. It don't matter. But she's acting like, almost acting as if, you almost wonder like what happened between Janelle and Mary that Janelle is side-eyeing, Mary is side-eyeing Janelle like, I don't know if I believe you. I don't know if I trust you. So, because it comes off almost like she doesn't believe her. Mary goes on to say that she kind of like trusts Cody. She says, I think Cody is a gentleman and that he would be fair. And you know what? Janelle has like, okay, all right, poker. Because I'd have been like, based on what, Sway? Based on what? What is your evidence that this man is going to be fair with you? Because it was last season when you were sitting down and you were making an argument for why you should have more. And he was making an argument for why you shouldn't get anything but 2 little acres. That was just last season. And I don't trust Cody being fair because if he was fair, would it be fair for you to have one wife living in a mansion, another wife living in a ranch? I mean, at one point, Janelle was living in, nothing's wrong with a ranch, Lord knows. But I'm just saying, if it's you have to wonder about how fair it is if you have one wife living in like a little mini mansion house, a house that's valued at $1 million, and another one renting a ranch. That's not fair. At one point, Janelle was living in an RV. So I don't know if you should trust him to equal out and be fair with people. But Mary has picked her side and she says, oh no, I trust him. And they show us again the plots. And I feel like this is not the version of the plots I've seen before, because in this version of the plots, you see multiple names on the plots. And I feel like before it was just like one person's name, but you can now see that the plot that Mary is on, Janelle's name is on it and Cody's name is on it. So if she was to only get the money from the plot with her name on it, she would get a third of that sale. She would get a slither. She get a slither of the money. I want to know how much money did she put in? Because that was the other question I had too. Like, well, maybe Mary didn't put in as much. So she's kind of not sweating, like, okay, well, I won't lose as much because I didn't put in that much of my money. But I was really baffled. I was confused as to why Mary would trust Cody to be fair with her. Because, I mean, even when you think back when she brought the bed and breakfast, she wanted a loan. She did not come to the family and say, hey, help me buy it, be a partner. She said, I need a loan. And they were all like, sorry, we ain't got it. So that wasn't really fair because whenever they needed anything, Mary was always putting her money in. She was putting her money in. And I would be worried. Janelle has a right to be worried because I get that sometimes you got to make your money stretch. You got to figure out something. But Cody's saying he doesn't have the money, but he doesn't have Christine's money anymore. He doesn't have Mary's money anymore. So he's down 2 streams of income. Literally, he's down 2 streams of income. So it may be a little trickier because Robin don't really produce money. She what was it? The jury line she had that she was trying to make all the ladies working like slaves. And they were like, no, this ain't gonna work. So when Cody says he doesn't have the money, Cody is also down some money streams. So, but you know what else I thought was interesting is when discussing having the money in 75 days, Janelle did not ask her to put up any more money. At least they didn't show us that. And you didn't see Mary saying, well, how much money do I need to put in to keep this from happening? It was just kind of all like, well, we'll see what Cody do. We're like, oh, okay. The other thing that came out of that conversation, which was baffling to me, is apparently Mary thought that Janelle was managing the money. She even says, well, I thought that you were managing the money. And Janelle says in confessional, that must mean that Cody is telling people that I am managing the money, but I am just the bookkeeper. And I'm like, how have y'all been a family all this time and didn't know that? Like, I don't really buy that Janelle. I get that Janelle was the bookkeeper, and I know the bookkeeper doesn't make decisions about the money. They just do what they're told with the money. But I find it hard to believe that Mary did not know that. Like, how did you not know that Cody was making all the money, making all the decisions about the money? Like, how did that not come up? Like, how did y'all communication is terrible if you was putting money in and not knowing who was making decisions and what the money was looking like and what deals you were signing. I don't know. And it makes you wonder, like, was Cody a little bit smarter than we kind of thought? Because apparently he had all these women giving him money from their multiple streams, and he was doing what he felt like doing. And some of them didn't realize that he was not making decisions, but doing what he wanted to do with the money. Interesting. I thought it was an interesting conversation. I said, somebody lying. And you know what? All of them have told lies because they've been lying to us for the past, 9-10 years about how they're living. So it may not be they're telling us the absolute truth, because I find it hard to believe that Mary didn't know that Cody was making decisions about the money and that no, ma'am. I find that really hard to believe. But Mary says she ain't worried about it. Must be good. We also get to see Christine and David, of course. And, instead of them going on dates and learning about each other and having deep conversations, they moving forward. They are out house shopping, and it is given very much HGTV House Hunters, where they show us the different houses. And I don't know why I didn't find this part particularly interesting, because I have watched my share of House Hunter shows. I have. But watching them kind of look at houses was not that interesting. It just seemed like they'd walk in and go, not the kitchen we want. And I'm thinking, did she not show you pictures before you got out there? But they looked at 3 different houses, didn't like any of them. One of the things we learned is that they have sleepovers. They are having sleepovers. So she was sad. She knows what side of the bed he sleeps on. But because she gets up in the morning, or they get up in the morning and they go home, then she doesn't know what it would be like to live with him. My thing is, grown people do what grown people do. But because I'm curious. I used to work in child welfare, so I think about things sometimes too deeply. So when you tell me that you are spending the night with your boyfriend, who you could not have known no more than 2 months by now, where is Truly? Is he spending the night in your house? Where is Truly at the house by herself? Is he getting up and leaving before Truly comes home? I'm like, what is really happening? And really, Christine, she could have kept that information. I don't want to know that. I don't need to know that. But I am grateful that we don't have to watch our tongue each other down this time. I'm so tired of watching them. Just so much. It's just too much. But we see that they are house hunting and they didn't buy a house this time. Really, what I think after seeing them house hunt is they need to build a house. They need to build a house, because what they want may be too hard to find, even in a new build. And they were looking at mostly new builds. They want 3-car garage. They want a house that's large enough for people to visit, but not to stay. That's the tricky part. And they want a nice size kitchen, almost a kitchen with 2 stoves and, 2 double ovens. You need to build that. You may need to build that. But anyway, the other thing I made a note of is I don't know if production interviews her this way or it just comes off, but she does a lot of comparison. And I get kind of tired of that. I don't want to hear nothing else about, but when I was with Cody, it was this. But now with David, it's this. With Cody, it was this. But with David, it's this. I don't care no more. I don't care. If you're over Cody, stop talking about him. I don't want to hear no more about Cody. Yes, when you was with Cody, he didn't help you do anything. He didn't help you pick out. And then Cody goes, all lies, all lies. I did. I don't want to see it. I don't see it. Just tell me about how great it is with David. I don't need any more comparisons. We saw the parts. We saw the parts. Okay. So now we are going to Gwen's, I was going to raise, bridal shower. I was going to say baby, but no, they're going to a bridal shower. So Gwen is married to Bia. And they are having a bridal shower of all bridal showers because there's a tattoo artist. I've never seen a tattoo artist at any kind of party or shower. And I don't even know if I want a tattoo from somebody who's hurrying up doing a bunch of them on people. That sounds painful and scary. So they're doing the bridal shower. Christine has brought David to the bridal shower. They're all caravanning to wherever Gwen lives, and they're arriving for the bridal shower. David gets a chance to meet Janelle's children because Janelle is with Maddie because Maddie is about to go into labor, or looks like she's about to go into labor. So Janelle's not going to be there, but Christine is bringing David, and David is meeting all the children. And so you see David, he's meeting I think it was Hunter, and they're chit-chatting about how they met, and David's doing a lot of, word salad. And I just kind of chalk it up to being nervous, and he's explaining, how he has a big family and how they met. And they think that that Robin and Cody are not coming because they had said they weren't going to come, but then changed their minds and they decide to come, and Mary is also coming. So I think it is very possible that maybe Cody was not going to come and production said, we sick of you in the snow. Get to work. Clock in. Go. And there's probably like, no, sir, we're not going to just keep paying you to be out here in the snow and sitting on this couch. You need to get to work and get around these women because we need a show, not just you talking about them. So it looked like there was, I don't know. And they're so good. Good for making Cody clock in and making Robin clock in. This is the show with them just sitting on the couch and out in the yard all the time. I'm not enjoying that. Get to work. Get to work. I'm ready to see something happen. Okay. So they come to the bridal shower. When they get there, Mary says, I have embraced my singleness and I am going in ahead of them by myself. And I'm thinking, I was confused by that part. Did they all ride together? And I get you want to say, I am single and not these people third wheel. If that's the case, you wouldn't have caught me going nowhere near them with the door. Even if I was in the same car, I would have said, you guys go ahead in. I got to make a phone call, and I would have went in 10 minutes later because it very much still looked like I'm with them. I'm with them. Even if she went in first, because she goes in first, opens the door, and kind of like gestures like, hey, here they are. So yeah, it looks like you're still with them, ma'am. It's not the look you thought. So everybody's, celebrating, meeting and introducing. And then it gets kind of tense because they realize that, oh, Christine is here with the new man, and Robin and Cody are here. And all eyes are on them. Christine makes a comment that it makes her feel bad because, now the focus is on them and not so much on Gwen and Bea. And if that's the case, ma'am, you should have let David at home. You should have left David at home. If he hadn't met them before, he didn't need to be in it at this moment. So if you was wanting them to have this moment, this spotlight, then you could have left David at home. And if they'd have showed up and Robin and Blondie had showed up, it'd have been no different. But we see them kind of mingling and mixing, and then finally it happens. As the party, kind of mingles about, you find yourself watching Cody and Robin and David and Christine meet. And so during that time when they are meeting, it's awkward. So as it would be, as it should be. They're trying to be cordial and civil. They're holding the twins. Cody's holding the twin. The baby is knocked out there. He's just shaking it. And I think David or Robin, somebody else was holding one of the other twins, and they're just shaking the baby. And they have very awkward chit chat. You could tell they don't know what to say to each other. At one point, Cody wanted to know, well, how old are your children? Because he don't know nothing else to say. He don't know anything else safe to ask. And I felt for him. I wouldn't know what else to say. Because what are you going to say? So, how long you been sleeping with my ex? No, you don't know what to say. So, they're yeah, I do this. I'm 34. My oldest is 34. Yeah. They're kind of like chit-chatting, and McCulty comes by, and there's a comment made where, something along the lines of, because David has babysat the kids, and McCulty offers that up. And they think that Cody is turning red, which I couldn't tell he was turning red. I couldn't. I'm just going to be real. He didn't look like he was turning red to me. But, David felt like he was turning red when they were talking about him babysitting the kids. And you know what? Honestly, if he didn't like it, he has a right to feel away. He really does. I would be like, well, these are my grandkids, and now are you trying to move him in on my grandchildren? So if he feels away, he has a right to feel away. But when they cut to Cody's confessional, Cody doesn't talk about him babysitting these kids at the all. Not that they show us. He is talking about how the whole time when David was talking, he was looking at Robin. So I don't know. I didn't know how to read that because at first it hit my ear like he may have thought that David was eyeing Robin because, of course, to him, Robin is the most beautiful, holy, sacred cow. He even said, I'm here with my one beautiful shy wife. I don't know why this man keep trying to tell us this woman is shy. Why would we even care? But I had wondered when he made that comment, was he feeling like David looking at my woman too much? I don't like it. I didn't really clock David looking at her too much. I just kind of felt like maybe David was talking more to her because of the two faces, hers is a little bit more friendly. We do that. We talk to people, we talk to the person that feels more comfortable to talk to. So he might have just been chatting with her because she was actually chatting a little bit more. She looked a little bit more friendly. It might have felt really awkward for David to eyeball him a whole lot. So I don't know. It's an awkward situation, and all bets are off for who handled it well or whatnot. And for how these conversations kind of go, I think it went pretty good. Nobody got into a fight. Nobody said anything hurtful. We did okay. They got a tattoo. And it wasn't clear if Christine got her tattoo at the party or did they get it later. But they got a tattoo for a Celtic meaning new beginnings, and they have matching tattoos. And we hear Cody later saying matching tattoos are tacky. I'm not a tattoo fan, but I don't really think matching tattoos are tacky, especially if the tattoo has a meaning outside of the person. So, like, if they break up, a tattoo that says new beginnings is still nice for you, right? It's not like, oh my gosh, I got my ex tattooed on my breast. Christine got the tattoo on her breast. So it's not like, oh, I got David's picture tattooed on my breast. That's a problem if you break up, right? But that tattoo that she has is not going to be a problem if they break up. They also showed us David's tattoo, and it probably needs to be touched up or something. I'm not an expert on tattoos. I watched Ink Master, so I do know a couple of things. And I'm like, that's not the best looking tattoo. It doesn't read good. It's hard to tell what it is. I'm like, David, you might need to get that, worked up a little bit, attached. It was hard to read. So, but Christine's tattoo turned out sharp. It turned out sharp. And they didn't show us what David's looked like. Also at the party, we see Mary and Christine have a whole moment, right? And I was really kind of touched by that moment because I didn't really gather that Christine and Mary were close, but they're kind of greeting each other. And it's almost like Christine could see that she was having a hard time. And so she was kind of checking in with her and telling her it's going to get better. It's great on this side. And they hug and they kind of cling to each other a little bit. And it was like a really nice moment, but also kind of sad because these people did have a whole life together. And now they're kind of moving on from it. And it's easier to move on when you have things you're excited about. And someone you're excited about, but Mary is kind of not in that same space. Mary says, I am not quite in that space yet where I'm happy to be free. And so, but Christine, she's like, woohoo, she's happy to be free. And Janelle is like, I'm getting my happy. Don't, watch me now. And so we have to just trust that Mary will find her way, as well as the other twos. But it was an okay episode. It was interesting enough. So I am curious to see what kind of happens next with Coyote Pass, and if Cody really is going to be fair, because I don't think so. I don't think he's going to be that fair. We shall see, though. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please, please, please hit that like button, share, comment. I greatly appreciate it. Take care.